I worked with a woman who had two children, so a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and she had just returned back to work, and her life was really busy because of the little ones, and obviously trying to juggle the work on top of that as well. And she just found that she was just having a lot of pain, and so she wanted to she was at the point where she really needed to start investigating what was going on, because it was having such an impact on her life. She was planning her holidays and things like the family holidays around whether she was actually going to have her period or not. And she just thought, I'm at the point where I need to do something about it. That's not a way to live. And so she came to see me, and we started working together to work on what was actually happening with the hormones and her nutrition. And I put her on the pathway to with the specialist to investigate what was actually happening. And we worked on the things that we could work on with nutrition and herbal medicine and lifestyle changes to help her as well. Fast forward to now, she manages the pain much better. She implemented the strategies that I suggested with her nutrition and supplements and lifestyle changes, and her period doesn't have that effect on her anymore. She doesn't have any pain, and she can do what she wants to do in her life, whether she wants to go on holidays with the kids or her family, and it doesn't have an impact anymore. If I was to ask her what she got out of the working with me, it would be the skills to learn how to look after herself better, and to know that she needs to put herself number one, so that then she can look after her family, because her family was higher up the list, and then she was further down, and her own self-care and her own looking after herself just wasn't top priority. And you can't look after others if you're not looking after yourself. If other big things happen in their life, then they just start to forget about themselves. So if they move house, or like, for example, that woman that I was talking about, she'd just gone back to work. So everything seemed to be manageable until she went back to work, and then she added so much more things into her life, and she just wasn't coping, because it was all, on the go. I'll feed the kids, but won't worry about me. And it has an impact, has a longer term impact. Yes, your intuition is always right. It's just a matter of whether you're actually listening to it, because we get so caught up in the busyness of life that we don't often stop to actually have to listen. And that's why things like meditation and self-care and, journaling can be really important, to stop and just to listen to what's actually happening. And it's there. We just got to listen to it. What's a highlight of your day, or what's one thing that you could work on what's one thing you could do better tomorrow? Some of the things that I get my clients to do is track their cycle and track their symptoms, so that they become more aware of actually what's actually happening in their body, and whether there's actually any patterns that they can work out. And also that information is good to then be able to pass on to other practitioners if they are working with others. Other homework that I tell my clients is just to have like 5 or 10 minutes time out where there's no phones, no TV, no music, just to sit and be still. And that comes back to listening to your intuition, and I guess your inner voice of what's going on, and changes that you can make when there's stillness and there's quiet. With a woman I worked with, it was around endometriosis and weight loss, and she initially come to see me because she'd seen things that I'd written online about endo and weight loss and how hard it can be, and the reasons why it can be so hard. And she personally had found that she had tried all the diets, and she had tried she tried to exercise, and she just wasn't getting results. Her weight was just staying the same, and in some cases, over the years, was actually going up as well. And she tried diets that other friends that had tried, and it just didn't work. And so she reached out to me, and we worked together, and she found that she would really, we implemented some simple, strategies around nutrition and around exercise, and matching the two up, because that's one of the big things, is ensuring that the exercise actually matches the nutrition. And then on top of that, endo and the inflammation can actually cause some, make it a little bit trickier. But when you get all three sorted, the weight started to shift. So fast forward, she now has got to her goal weight and has the strategies to be able to stay there. And, I get the text messages to say that she was really excited by, the exercise that she puts in there now, because she feels motivated to train and to stay on top of a healthy lifestyle. Nutrition is personalized for what's actually happening, and especially with endo and especially with weight loss. If they want to get results, then get somebody that's qualified to actually write up a plan for them. Cookie cutter doesn't work. And by cookie cutter, I mean something that is just there and you just purchase. It's not personalized for you. I disagree with starvation diets, like a particular diet where you don't eat much and you just drink juice. It just doesn't work. Causes inflammation, and your body requires nutrients to be able to produce hormones and to heal. So starvation doesn't work. With inflammation, it could typically be things like pain, swelling, stiffness. But if there's more of a systemic, I mean whole body inflammation, it can be other things like digestive issues. It can be mood, so depression, anxiety, stress, not managing stress very well. They can all point to inflammation as well. You can test for inflammation, but then even the inflammatory markers that you test with bloods and in pathology, it's still generalized. It doesn't tell you where the inflammation actually is. So I think it goes back to the tracking. If you're tracking what's actually happening and you're listening to your body, then to a certain degree work out what's actually not right for you. And one of the things with endo and food is that sometimes women believe that it's eat a food, get a flare up, or eat food, be in a lot of pain. And it doesn't necessarily work like that with endo, because it can be it's like a load thing. So the more load that is actually put on the body in terms of inflammation, then it can cause a flare up. It's not necessarily eat this, get this. So that's why a lot of the time gluten-free, dairy-free and sugar-free are part of the endo diet, because they are inflammatory. So they're removed from the diet because of the inflammation, not because you eat ice cream, get pain, or eat bread, get pain. It doesn't always work that way. It's not eat tomato, get a flare up, or eat tomato, get pain. It's more about the total load of inflammation on the body. And that point is that some women find the endo diet, or gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, tomato-free, eggplant-free, all the inflammatory foods, just absolutely impossible to do, because the list is so huge. And it's done in a way where you're reducing the total amount of inflammation, not necessarily removing every single type of food. The biggest myth is period pain is normal. Period pain is not normal. It indicates that something is going on and it should be investigated. And fortunately, society has made it that we just think that period pain is normal. It's not normal. So get it investigated. One of the things that they shouldn't do in terms of exercise with endo or inflammation is long duration cardio, because it can cause more inflammation, and that's what you're trying to avoid. Getting on the cross trainer and going for 60 minutes, hour and a half, there are better forms of exercise that will work towards your goals. If your goals are fitness or fat loss, that won't cause as much inflammation. I worked with a client who was addicted to exercise. She really liked that endorphin kick that she got from exercise. So she was a runner. She would run a couple of times a week with a run club and do active things on the weekend with her friends, like bike ride and hike. And then she would also do like hard weight training. So think like along the lines of CrossFit, and she just couldn't figure out why she was not feeling great. And you know, that's just an example of the things that you shouldn't do when you exercise, is that she was basically causing burnout with her body because she was just doing too much. There wasn't enough things that balanced out the nervous system. It was all just go, 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 and not enough rest, and also not fueling her body for that type of exercise. Like if you're doing that amount of exercise, you're really training. You need to fuel your body at a level that is actually equal to a sports person, because you are burning so much and you need to replenish so that you can actually recover. So we changed a few things with her nutrition and added in some exercises and strategies that balanced out the nervous system, and she felt better and started to get results because she could train harder and run faster when she was fueling her body properly.